What's up YouTube, Ryan here again, and first off I just want to say sorry because I know I promised you guys a video last week, Father's Day, but stuff got really crazy dealing with this closing. We're 2 days away from that first video I showed you, closing on that deal, so really excited for that. There's only a few little things that we gotta take care of that kind of hinge on this. So I'm filing paperwork and dealing with another guy who we owe some money to, believe it or not. So yeah, 2 days away, and we also got some awesome news that we're going to be closing on the second deal, the one I'm going to be talking about in this video. We're going to be closing on that in less than 30 days. 2 deals in like a month. It's really exciting. So really starting to step up our game and bring our business to the next level. So you know, without further ado, I'm going to jump right into this video, and hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know if you like this stuff. Subscribe, get notifications, ask me any questions you want. I got my number. Text me, email me, comments, whatever is easiest for you. I'd love to help out and see anybody else succeed in doing similar stuff to what I'm doing here. So hope you enjoy it. All right, guys.
What's up YouTube, Ryan here again, and today we're going to be bringing you this awesome update from property number 1. Number 2, we're going to be going through property number 2, checking out the neighborhood. That's actually where I'm walking around now. And number 3, we're going to be giving you some awesome tips, the reason why you clicked on this video, on how to make $10,000+ in real estate with little out of pocket. Believe it or not, it's true. I was super skeptical from the beginning, but with a lot of hustle. All right, so update from property number 1. We're closing next week still. A little stressful gathering all the paperwork together, but it should be pretty smooth. There was a lot of other paperwork I had to file with the county clerk, but it's looking like it'll pan through, because otherwise we'd have to wait months, a lot longer. Oh my god, branches. We'd have to wait a lot longer to go through the whole process again and be ready to close. But who knows, the investor, the money might not even be there when we want to do that, so it's really gonna happen. All right, number 2 is flip number 2. So as I said, we're walking through this really awesome neighborhood. It's like smoking. It just rained actually, so it's Father's Day. I tried to jump out and do this video really quick between the rain and doing a whole bunch of other stuff. So we're walking through a neighborhood now. Some really awesome houses. Property number 2, we got an awesome deal on, and these are like $1 million houses. As you can see, maybe I'll do a drive in my car later, see a bit more property. So this one, my partner is actually the agent on it, and we brought the investor in that way. So it should pan out pretty well. We're waiting an answer from the lender on. Actually, we should probably get an update. I gotta check my email. So it should be closing about next week. Not next week, I'm sorry. About next month. That'd be awesome next week. 2 houses in 1 week. But yeah, next month is what we hope for. There's a sheriff's sale actually going for the property. But it should be pretty profitable. And we'll do a tour inside when we get the chance. We're going to do some major rehab on that one. But it's gonna look like maybe something like that. I don't know, we'll see. So more updates to come, but that's kind of where we're at. Just a little update. So reason number 3 why you came into checking out this video is because you want to make $10,000+ flipping real estate with little out of pocket, right? So number 1, it's what I'm doing right now in the interim. I'm doing wholesaling, finding properties that can be fixed and flipped, and you can put equity into it. and you can resell it for a profit. So as of right now, I'm working with investors. I'm doing all the grunt work. I'm doing all the hustle. I'm finding properties that have a lot of potential in them, like some of these. Well, before it's all fixed up. So yeah, I find the properties, I lock it up with a contract. I say, hey, we could offer you this amount, and the owner obviously accepts, and we go through the whole spiel, and we're able to close in a relatively quick amount of time. So you really have to know what you're doing. Like I was saying, you have to have the investor all lined up, and be able to pull through with the transaction, because you're talking about people's houses, and it's a pretty big deal. You don't want to mess with that. You want to be professional at all times, and there's a lot of risk. There's lots of lawsuits. You have to have a lawyer. You have to have all the right paperwork to be able to cover yourself, to protect the owner as well. You always want the owner of the property. You want the owner's house as the highest priority. You want to protect them. So you can't just start. You watch this video and say, all right, I'm starting tomorrow, and I'm going to buy all these houses from these people at this price. You really got to know your market, your area, and what you want to do. So number one, you got to find, if you're looking to do wholesaling, that's all I'm going to talk about now, wholesaling. So if you want to do wholesaling, what you need to do is you need to research your area. What town, focus on one town, what town you want, and know exactly, like 3-bed, 2-bath, with this, this, and this, it's exactly how much it costs. You need to be able to do that when you walk into a property. You need to know what kind of kitchens, what kind of bathrooms, appliances that these properties, when they sell, what is inside them. So when you do walk through it and you see outdated things, you need to estimate how much it's going to cost to bring it up to that value. So what else? All right, so you need to know your market. You need to know repair costs, how much it costs. You can work with a contractor, but think about it. You're bringing them around, and you're not going to be the one who's paying him at the end of the day. You could pay him $100 or so to give you a few estimates, and then maybe base your rehabs off that later on. But you don't want to be wasting his time as well, because nobody wants that. All right, so know your market, know rehab costs. Now you need to find an investor-friendly agent. You need somebody who you could also throw the property against to get an estimate for what it is worth. It's always good to have investor-friendly agents, people who work with investors who do similar things to this, but they're not always doing as much marketing and those kinds of things. So having an agent, having some other people, other resources out there is always handy. So agent, rehab, know your market. Next is marketing. So marketing, there's a million different ways you can market. You could just go online, browse the MLS, look for listings that were expired. Maybe people are trying to sell for a long amount of time and they just didn't sell. You could do that, call them up, call the agent and say, hey, I want to go check out the property, give you an estimate. If you could see from the pictures that it looks like there's some potential there, you could do that. You can look for sale by owners. You could do a similar thing. If someone is trying to sell their house and they were doing it for a long time, you can call them up, say, hey, I saw your house is on the market for a long time. I'd like to give you an offer. Are you flexible? What's your timeline? Those kinds of things. So you want to just start getting familiar with properties, talking with people, getting familiar, getting comfortable with that. So that's another avenue to do. You could also do a little bit what we do is we send out some letters. We send letters to homeowners saying we're interested in your property. If you are interested in selling, because most of these that we send letters to, they're not listed on the MLS. Actually, all of them are not listed on the MLS, but they meet our criteria for the area. They meet the price point, bedrooms, baths. We see that they probably had equity in the property for a long amount of time, so they have a lot of equity in the property, and yeah. So the video just cut out again, and I don't know why it keeps doing that. There's something wrong with this camera. I gotta get a new one. My phone's not working so well either. So anyway, yeah, you want to find a property that has a fair amount of equity into it, where you can get it knowing that there's not a lot of liens or anything else on the property. So you know that it someone didn't just move into it and you're trying to buy it. So that would not be the most exciting letter to see 2 days after you move into your house. Someone else wants to buy it. But whatever. All right. So get your marketing, get your agents, get your attorneys, get your contractors, rehab, all that all set up. So then you go to your property, you lock it up, say, I know exactly how much this costs, this is how much the rehab costs, and you build in a little bit for yourself as well. So because at the end of the day, you got to make some money too. So you can, when you're buying a property, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars, and if you're able to discount it about $10,000, which is generally the case, it's really not that difficult to see, because the investor knows that you're helping them out, the homeowner knows that you're helping them out. So you explain to them, you be upfront with them from the beginning, say, hey, I'm doing this for a business, even if you're not doing it full time, it doesn't matter. You're doing this to help them out, and you need something at the end of the day as well. You don't have to be upfront. Just build it into what you're buying the house for, because it doesn't really matter. You can tell them. We generally do. Just being totally crystal clear with everybody is probably the best bet, because you don't want to be at the closing table and somehow that number comes up and they say, hey, what's this $10,000? What's this $20,000? And then you have to explain to them and then have the possibility of the deal falling through, which you don't want. So you have it locked up, you have the contract all set, you have the investor all set up, and you're ready to close. So you speak with your attorney, you speak with a title company if you choose to use a title company instead of an attorney, and you essentially hand them all the paperwork. You have to be on top of the investor all the time to make sure that they are serious. You want to get a down payment from them, because you want to hold them liable. You want to have them locked into the deal as well. So we generally do about $5,000 to $10,000 to know that they're serious, that they really want the house. Because once again, there's a million different ways a property could fall through at the last minute. So you want to prevent that, and by doing down payments and contracts, you're locking it up and knowing that everything's going to go through. So what else? Next part is, so after it closes, then you can reinvest that money into more marketing. But the key is to really know your numbers, know your info, and how to put a whole plan together, and staying focused. You gotta grind, you gotta network, go out, meet with agents, meet with investors, meet with other wholesalers in the area, find out what strategies they're doing. They're not going to tell you everything, but they're going to tell you a fair amount, what strategies they're working on, and see how you can be of use to them. Maybe you know certain things, or certain contractors, or certain investors, and it doesn't hurt to share info, because they're going to find out eventually. It doesn't really matter. So you help them out, maybe they'll help you out down the line. Maybe you have a property locked up, and somehow your investor fell through. Now you need another investor. You talk to this other wholesaler that you refer them, you know, this awesome cabinet guy, or I don't know, another agent or something that gives really awesome pocket listings, then maybe it'll help you out. So, you know, the key is that you really need to know your stuff. You need to be professional, no matter where you're working, no matter what kind of owner it is, whether they're laid back and anything. You know, you always want to come off as very serious, because if you're kind of laid back, then they're not going to trust you as much. And there's a lot of handshakes and behind the scenes just text a guy saying, hey, yep, I'll buy it. But you really need to factor in the trust in purchasing a property, because it's serious. It's people's lives. They can lose their house, and you know, they can lose a lot of money. So you really want to know your stuff, and state that you're going to be the one who's helping them out. You want to always be helpful, whether you know they need to move out, they need $1,000 to put down for their rental property where they're going to stay for a little while. So what? You know, take $1,000 out of your 10,000 or 15,000 and help the owner out, because at the end of the day, they're people too, and you know, that's why you're getting into it. Yeah, it's a good amount of money, but you want to help people out. So if you liked all this info, definitely stay tuned, because we're going to do a lot more of these kind of little modules and education sessions. So I wanted to go over kind of everything first. I know I said I was going to do a little bit more specific about marketing or you know, rehabs and that kind of things, but I want to give an overall perspective on, yes, it is true, you know, you pay for marketing, you pay a little bit for an attorney or contractor to get some info, but you really don't need a whole lot of money to get started in this. So it's really possible. So, you know, stay tuned, and we will be going into specifically what kind of marketing we do, the mail marketing, where we get all that info. You know, you don't just send it to everybody in the town. You could, but that's a lot of money that you don't want to wait. You don't want to waste. We'll go into that. Rehabs, we'll do some cost estimates as well, and then you know, we'll come up with more as we go, and we'll get feedback from you guys too, I hope. So send me some comments, and you know, stay tuned, subscribe, get notifications when there's more videos coming out. And if you have any questions, I'm serious, free consultations, shoot me a text, shoot me an email, comments, whatever's easiest for you, and we're all here to help each other out, right? So hit me up anytime. All right, guys, stay tuned, and see you in the next video. Okay.